Hey guys, Renmeleon here. I am going to redo my folding video for my one-page zines and cut out a couple of steps for you. My daughter had come up with a way to do it that was really fast. So we're going to use one of my little zines here, and the one-page zines are really easy to make. You can do 8 pages. There's a lot of people that are using these for mini storybooks for kids. I use them for everything from motivational stuff to little tutorial booklets for my classes that I teach. This one you can actually get if you sign up on my mailing list on renmeleon.com. I'll put the link on there for you. And this is just a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So you're gonna take whatever your pattern is. If you're doing a blank page, it doesn't really matter. You can go either way. But if you're doing something that already has artwork on it, like this, you're gonna fold it longways with the art out. I call this the long and the short of it, so you can always remember which one comes first. And then you're going to fold it short side. And then without flipping it over, you're going to fold the artwork in on itself. And I'm not folding it all the way up to the edge. I'm leaving a little bit of a gap, so that when you go to do the final folds, it's not going to crimp up on you. So you just need to leave maybe 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit of a gap. Okay, then you're going to flip this over and you're going to fold it back on itself again. So you're basically doing an accordion fold. So that it looks like that. Okay, so you should have a mountain fold and 2 valley folds on the sides. And then what you're going to do is, I fold this flat just to make it a little easier to cut. And you're going to cut right on that fold. You can see that right there. You're going to cut right on that fold. And you want to stop right where it meets the other fold there. You don't want to go past it, because if you do, then you just made a snowflake. So just right up to that, and then here's the magic. So you fold it, your front page. Usually put a finger in the middle. And there you go. And that one got a little bit wonky because I didn't fold it right. So if you're making zines on a regular basis and you have a bunch that you're doing for, say, Zine Fest, I went ahead and did long folds on these. To get a straighter, more uniform fold, though. You can go through and cut these, but don't do that last little folding bit. So you will do this part, but don't do the smooth the edges thing just yet. Just set it aside. And that just makes it a little faster to do these. These make little great gifts to tuck in for people. I do one for Mother's Day that you can actually fill out and stick in your Mother's Day card for your mom. I need to do a Father's Day one too. I actually didn't make one for Father's Day. So, see, I'm not going through that last step of kind of smushing those down. When you have a stack of them, you can put them together and it'll do a more uniform fold, stacking them. Just recently got back into letter writing, which you'd think greeting card designer, I'd be doing it all the time, but with email and with busy schedules, I hadn't taken time out to do the pen friend thing for years. I used to be part of something called the Letter Exchange, which I'm happy to say is still around, and they have a subscription that you get 4 copies of their zine a year, and it's got all sorts of ads in there for people. It's not a dating thing, nothing creepy. It's, you know, people specifying what their interests are. There's different categories, like maybe gardening or sewing or crafting, writing, and they even have a fictional character one where you're writing in character as your character to another character. They do have a forwarding service, so if you don't want your address out there, they'll forward it for you until you decide that you want to give the other person your address. And they don't do prison ads or anything like that, so they're a fairly safe environment. And I think they have a kids section, I'm not sure. So I'm just making sure that that's kind of butt up to it on the inside. And then this is what I was talking about. This is where you have several of them, but you don't have that last fold done. Just make sure you've got them all together straight. And then just come in here like this and do them all at one time. And if you're doing a bunch of zines for a Zine Fest, that actually makes it much faster. And like I said, it's a little more uniform. And hopefully, yep, see, I don't have any crimping like I did on that first one, which is one of these. Nope, one of these. So you avoid getting that little kind of a crimpy fold there. And these are all clean fold. So that is the faster way to do it. It just cuts out a couple of steps. Oop, my ring keeps sliding up. Okay. So again, you do your long fold. So if it's printed, you have your printing out. Do your short fold and get as lined up as possible. Again, art out, and then you're going to fold the art in on itself. Leave about 1/8 of an inch so that it doesn't bunch up when you go to do your other fold. And you can use a bone folder and get crisper edges if you want. I don't tend to do that just for time's sake. And it compresses it a little more and makes a finer edge when you do it bulk like I did with the stack. So that kind of negates the need to do that. And then you cut, and I like having it so that this edge is folded up because that tells me right where I need to stop. Because it is hard to see if it's white paper and you're trying to see the fold. Let's see if I can do this without crimping it. Always start with that one corner if you can and let the paper guide you. Don't force it into it, then it crimps if you do that. Now, there's some other things I wanted to show you. that I should have here. Okay, if you want artwork on the top of your zines, you want a little border, before you cut it, in fact, before you do anything else, I actually make these up ahead of time because I can print them in color and then I can just feed it through my printer when I'm printing out the black and white if I want it. Or I can just use these for a more colorful note thing that I keep in my purse. You do an inch wide strip down the middle and you'll have the design on your edge. I think this one's, yeah, this one's the alphabet one that I did just for giggles. It's a partial alphabet. But I liked how it gave me an effect of all these little lettering things on the top. And I think I have another one that is just spiral with some dots. So you can really do anything. It just depends on how complex you want the artwork. Something simple like that is usually really pretty and it's less distracting. You can do flower petals. Do just about anything. I've got a couple that have leaves. I have another one that's got fishes. My little fishy doodle that everybody likes. And oh, that's it for this. So depending on the pattern you want, you could do amoebas, which is, this is actually some pieces that are original artwork taken right out of my sketchbook that I am sending out to my Patreons. My Patreon patrons will get these in the mail here shortly. And I'm working on bookmarks as well. And that's just one sheet of sketchbook that I've cut up. But you can do this kind of a pattern and do different designs. Something simple looks best. You can do it on the bottom too, but I find that's a little more distracting. If you want to make it so that each panel has its own artwork, I would do that separately and just print it on there. But if you were looking to do just something a little bit more decorative than a regular zine, that's a good way to do it. So thanks for joining me, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks.